Hi, I'm Ant from Southern Design RV in Ballarat, and welcome to part 3 of our handover experience. Today we're going to talk about the hookup. We're going to talk about things about how to save time to make the whole process easier. So stay tuned, we've got a lot of good things to come. The first tip for our handover experience is to get a measurement from the ground up to your tow hitch. So if you ring one of our friendly sales team, they'll give you a measurement, and then you can also make sure that your tow hitch is just the same. That will save you a lot of time. Now remember, sometimes with some vehicles they have a very soft suspension set up and you may sink down a little bit, so you might need a little bit more height on it, but that will save a lot of time. Also, if you don't have a tow ball already in your tow hitch, that can save time too. There's been times we've had them seized on and it's taken a considerable amount of time to get them off. Now if you've got a DO35 hitch, they come standard with the pin. We supply it with the van. The second tip is on the front of the DO35 hitch. You'll see a yellow fluorescent stripe. That makes it easy to line up your camera when you back it in. So I'm with Steve Strick, our manager, and he's going to show us how easy it is to back up to the DO35 hitch using the yellow stripe on front of it. So here we go. Go for it, Steve.
There we are.
Look at that. I think you've done this before.
I think so.
Thanks, Steve. All of our vans come supplied with a 12-pin plug. So when you get your vehicle wired up, please make sure you've got a 12-pin plug on it. Now if you don't, if you've got a 7-pin plug, the 12-pin plug will not plug into that 7-pin plug, so you'll have to get an adapter, an additional cost. So by organising all this beforehand, it can make life a lot easier. If you have a 3-way fridge, your 12-pin plug will be wired up for that fridge. Now the correct order of the wires is terminal number 8 is your positive, terminal number 10 is your negative, and terminal number 12 will be your pink wire. Now the pink wire is a sensor wire. The fridge requires that to know that it needs to switch over to battery. So make sure this is wired correctly so that your fridge works properly when you come for the hookup. So once your hitch is in line with the pin, all you do is you wind it down until the pin engages in the hitch. And all the weight's off the jockey wheel. Then you press this little red button, that will lock the hitch. Now to unlock it, just press it again, slide this little tongue back, and that'll release the lock. Now when this tongue is back, you can't put the dust cap on here, so it won't allow you to do it, but when it is locked, you can. So if you get in the habit of putting this dust cap on every time, that's your safety insurance. You know for sure that this hitch is locked. With your chains, cross them over like this and use weight-rated D-shackles. Now that chain crossover makes a basket underneath the hitch. So that way, if your chains and your shackles fail, if your hitch fails, it'll be like a basket and this will fall into it. So that's the correct way to hitch it up. Now you've also got here a trail safe. If we unhook that. This here is like your emergency braking system. So if something goes wrong, it'll pull this pin out and apply the brakes on the caravan, stop it from becoming a missile down the road. So whatever you do, do not attach it to your chains and your shackles. Now ideally what you should do is have a point separate from the tow bar, somewhere to the centre of the van where you can attach this on that's attached to a solid part of your chassis. That way, even if your tow bar fails, this here will not fall off and fail. So that attaches, it's got a lot of stretch in that line, and by keeping it central, you don't want it on the outside, you'll avoid any unnecessary pulling of the pin. So that's how you set up your chains and your shackles. Now with your 12-pin plug, you pop that in the little adapter down here. You'll also have a grey Anderson plug. That one will trickle charge your batteries whilst you're driving, and your rear view safety camera, that will come with a plug too. Now if you want to, you can request the camera before pickup and take it to your auto electrician and get it wired in, but if not, that's okay. We'll just coil this up with cable ties on the day. Your trail safe should have a green LED light displayed. Now if you ever see a purple light there, that means it needs to be recalibrated. So to fix it, pull the pin out. The light will start flashing. As soon as it stops flashing, put the pin back in, and that should fix the problem. Now if the light stays orange and does not go green, that means it needs to be done again. So pull the pin out again, wait for it for 5 minutes to flash, put the pin back in, and that should reset it and get it back on the green light. As an optional extra, you can get a weight distribution system added to the tow bar of your car. Now this is an optional extra. It's got 2 torsion bars on it, and that pulls the weight up at the rear end and puts more steering control back in the front wheels. Now with these, they are a great item to have. Some car manufacturers don't recommend them, so check with your car manufacturer. Now, but with these 2 bars, every time you reverse and back into a spot, you'll have to remove them and take them out of the way so that you can reverse in. That is one of the downsides. Also with moving metal parts, they can make a bit of noise. Now another option is you can get airbags for the back of your car. So by doing that you can stiffen up the back of the car, make a firmer ride and stop a lot of sag. Now with those, again, seek advice from your car manufacturer about whether or not it's suitable for airbags. The third option is you can get upgraded suspension, and this may be the best of the lot. So by upgrading your rear suspension, you can take a lot of that sag out of the back. Even large vehicles that are very powerful towing rigs, like Dodge Rams and Toyota Land Cruisers, in their standard configuration will sink down a lot at the back end, so having a suspension upgrade will add a lot of extra safety and comfort to your towing experience. So that's something to think about. You can do an upgrade on your suspension or get a weight distribution system. And finally, the last thing that we do on your handover experience with your hookup is we check your lights. Now just a red hot tip, some people will put their hazard lights on. Don't do that. We would prefer it if you put both your left and your right indicator on separately. We want to know that your wiring plug is in its correct configuration. So we'll check your brake lights, your driving lights, your indicators, and once that's all good, you're ready to travel down the road.
So finally, we're going to run you through the wiring diagram for your vehicle. So inside your deal pack, which everyone gets when they purchase a caravan off us, you'll find the CES wiring diagram. So in this book, the easiest one to understand, I think, is basically on the back page here, where we can see the wiring schematic there. Your car will require a 12-pin trailer plug, and depending on what sort of fridge you have, I generally outline it for the customers here. You will need the electric brakes into pin 5. The pin 8 and 10 are your 2 heavy wires for your fridge, and the pin 12 is the ignition select. Now this is for a 3-way fridge. If you do have a compressor fridge, you won't need to worry about this 12-pin side. You still will require the 12-pin plug. The Gray Anderson plug is there to charge your batteries as you drive, so it just helps keep everything topped up. And on top of this, as Anthony has touched in another part of the clip, is the Safety Dave camera wiring.
So that's the end of part 3 of our series on doing the handover. Thank you so much for watching. Now all you need to do is enjoy your new van. Now if you need more information, look in the description box below in YouTube, and we've put all the items with their times next to it so you can quickly scoot through and get to the point that you want to. We'll see you next time. We'll have more great videos to come.